Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be grading the Milwaukee Bucks and their off-season because they've done a bit. They haven't done too much, they haven't brought in too many players, but of course the main bit of business they did was they brought back Giannis Antetokounmpo on a 5-year, $228 million deal, supermax contract, highest paid NBA player in history, and on Milwaukee side it's a great deal for them. I made a video about why this is the wrong move for Giannis, which we'll leave a link in the description for, but as far as Milwaukee goes, this is a great deal for them. A small market team like Milwaukee keeping the reigning back-to-back MVP, unbelievable deal. So 10 out of 10 for that. And hopefully for Bucks fans, Giannis can help you get a championship. Now, what trades did they do this off-season? Well, they got Drew Holiday. That's their main. That was their big player of the off-season. They got Drew Holiday for the Pelicans, and they gave up Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, and 3 first-round picks. So in the long term, they've given up a lot there. Bledsoe and George Hill, good three-point shooters, and those if this deal doesn't work out for them, if Drew Holiday underperforms, they're giving up a lot. But if Holiday does perform, the Bucks would form a big three with him, Chris Middleton, and Giannis. So that's the upside, and hopefully that might be enough to get them over the hump and into the NBA Finals. Last year, Drew Holiday averaged 19 points per game, 6.7 assists per game, shooting 35% from 3 and 45% from the field. So he brings a lot, brings good defense, shooting obviously, scoring, he brings a lot. So hopefully Bucks fans that he can fit in well with Chris Middleton and Giannis. They also missed out on Bogdanovic, who they tried to get in a sign and trade from Sacramento. They tried to do it early, but they broke rules, and they got draft picks taken off them for this. So this was a real L in the off season for them. Bogdanovic would have fit in perfect with that Bucks team. I remember making a video about it back when it happened. I thought the Bucks could possibly get out east now, but they didn't get Bogdanovic, didn't get scoring, so that's a blow for them. In free agency, they got Bobby Portis. He signed a 2-year, $7.4 million deal. He'll just bring a front court depth. So he won't be a starter or anything, but he'll bring more depth into the second unit. They'll brought on DJ Augustine. He'll bring backcourt depth and 3-point shooting, which they'll need after they lost George Hill. So this is a good pickup thing, DJ Augustine for the Bucks, and I think he could be a starter next year with them. Torrey Craig also brought in. He's a scorer, and he can bring defense. So you need just fill out the roster, bring players like them. In the draft, they did number 24 pick, which was RJ Hampton, but of course they traded him as part of the Drew Holiday deal. And RJ Hampton's meant to be a good player, so he's going to be a bit of a loss for Milwaukee. But if you're going to get people like Drew Holiday, you're going to give up some stuff. And some people think they over give up stuff on Drew Holiday. Others think they have to do it to keep you honest. They also had the 45th pick, which was Jordan Noir. I don't think we've seen much of Jordan Noir this season with the Bucks. Just because they filled out the roster enough, and they've got enough depth. So he'll be getting like end minutes of games. So I'd wait and see how he turns out. But obviously the biggest bit of business they did this off season was keeping Giannis. I personally thought he was going to leave Milwaukee. Obviously in the video you'll hear what team I thought he should have went to. But fair play for Milwaukee. They got on a 5-year deal, as I said. So they have his prime years. He's 27 out. They'll get him till he's 32. And it's up to Milwaukee ownership now. They're knocking out East this year. I'll get that out of the way straight away. I don't even think they're going to make the finals, the Eastern Finals. Brooklyn will get out East, in my opinion. And I think Boston have a good shout to get into the finals. Boston, Miami, Milwaukee, they're all in it to get out East. And those other teams as well. I can't think on top of my head. But those are the favourites to get out East. I don't see them get to the finals for sure. But hopefully for Bucks fans this year will be a step for an improvement in the playoffs, because last year they underperformed majorly in the playoffs. And Eastern semi-finals lost to Miami. People thought Giannis would leave after the season, but you kept Giannis. You brought in Drew Holiday, and DJ Augustine I think was going to be a good pickup as well. So overall, re-signing Giannis was like the biggest win of the off season, one of the biggest wins in the whole off season, not just Milwaukee. Now I did not think Giannis would sign, especially this season. I thought he'd at least wait. So that's a big deal for them. Their off season relies on Drew Holiday for sure. He was their biggest bit of business, and their off season will either, if looking back, it'll either be a good off season if Drew Holiday performs, or a bad one, or a bad one if he underperforms. Making a big trade with Giannis and Chris Middleton, that's the plan with Drew Holiday. That's what they need from him. They didn't do a lot of business other than that. Obviously, they got DJ Augustine and Torrey Craig and Bobby Portis, but that's just filling out the debt. A possible starting lineup for Milwaukee next year: you got DJ Augustine in the point guard, Drew Holiday shooting guard, Chris Middleton small forward, have Giannis in the power forward, and Brook Lopez as your starting centre. Now, this is only a possible starting lineup. I don't know what Coach Budenholzer is going to do, but just a possible starting lineup. So overall, I grade their off season a 7 out of 10. It was a 6 out of 10 before. I was going to give them a 6 out of 10, because they lost down Bogdan Bogdanovic. I know Drew Holiday wasn't enough to get a 7, but keeping Giannis for sure knocks it up to a 7. And if they can get out east, it's a perfect off season for them. As I said, it all depends on Drew Holiday and how he performs. Not to put too much pressure on him, but that's what it's about. A bit of pressure to get out east. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on notifications. We're still uploading, we're still going. So let's finish this out. And with all that said, guys, I'm out of here.